Hey guys, it is Jeremy Kulikowski here, and I want to welcome you to another Facebook Live. We are going to be talking about how to master the budgeting process. So specifically, we're going to talk about 3 steps to master budgeting, even if it's never worked for you. And the reason we're talking about this is I sent an email out to our list recently saying, like, what do you guys need help with? What are some of your biggest questions? And one of the main things was like, I just have no idea where to begin with a budget. It sounds overwhelming. It sounds confusing, or I've tried and I've bombed every time. It's like, like my diet plan or, my exercise plan, whatever. It's like, I have a good intention and it's the first of the year or whatever, or summer comes around or you get sick and tired of it. And that's it. I'm going to put a plan together. And it just doesn't work. You find that you find yourself burning out. You find yourself giving up. And before you know it, it's just back to like the wild, wild west of like whatever happens. And so guys, the reason we're talking about that is because so many of you guys feel that way. And here's the thing, like if you guys don't have a plan for your money, guys, it's you got to think of your money, your personal finances like a business. If you didn't have a plan for what was going to happen with business money, like if you were running, let's say like a donut shop, right? And all of the money just comes in and you just funnel into like a big bag and you have no strategy. Like, what are we going to do with it? Like, how much is it going to go to marketing? I don't know. How much is going towards sales? I don't know. Like, how much do we need to purchase new supplies? I don't know. How much should we be saving up in case there's something like all of a sudden people don't want to come have donuts or we have a week break or someone gets hurt? I don't know. Like, obviously, guys, that business is going to become insolvent very quickly. It's honestly why most small businesses fail. So you've got to think of it like, if you don't have a plan for your money, what the money that's coming in, guys, like you're in trouble. Like unless you're like making so much money, like I'm making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and it's like my expenses are like $10,000 a month, and I just know I'm going to be fine. Like most people are not in that place. Like you have to be careful. You have to be mindful because again, if you guys don't, what you're going to find is you're going to find that the debt continues to be around. It's extremely hard to save. You're going to find that you keep again, if you're married, that again, it causes distance, it causes frustration, it causes all those sorts of things, judgment, all of this. You find yourself, again, there's so many things that you just find yourself going into that just can spiral out of control, where now, again, the debt's not going away, you're not saving, you're not building wealth. But really, guys, like even just, you don't have peace of mind. Like when you're shopping, when you're when you're spending money, you're always wondering in the back of your mind, like, can I really afford this? And you might be smiling like, it's fine, and you're handing over your card, but you don't really know, or you're pulling out cash like, I'd hope this doesn't cause me to overdraft, or I hope this doesn't cause us to not be able to do this vacation in 2 months, or I hope that I can pay this back one day. But again, it sucks when you don't have a plan. But when you guys do, you spend with confidence, you spend with excitement, you spend with unity. If you're married, you find yourself just feeling a sense of freedom and a sense of peace because you have a plan for all the money that's coming in. Just like, again, if you're an employee, or like, whatever, let's just say a general manager of the donut shop, again, and it's like, and we went to the boss, like, okay, well, what are you supposed to do with the money? Well, you're responsible for growing it, but I have no plan for you. You'd be pretty nervous, right? So when you have a plan and he tells you, okay, exactly, yeah, you need to put this much in marketing, this much in sales, we need to put this much in for savings, we need to put this much, you're like, okay, finally, you can feel at peace because you know how to do your job, right? So that's why we're going to talk about it. And so we're going to break this down into 3 just simple hacks, guys. 3 things to keep in mind in order to master the budgeting process. Again, even if you've tried before, you failed, even if you have no idea what you're doing, if you feel it feels overwhelming, it feels exhausting, it can be all those things. And that's why we're going to simplify it for you guys today. So welcome, everybody. All right. So number 1, guys, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the most important thing is you guys have to have the right mindset for this. And trust me, we're going to get to strategy. We're going to talk about like the systems and things like that. But guys, honestly, like without the right mindset, it's a complete waste of time. And when I say mindset, I'm talking about your emotional state. I'm talking about your beliefs. I'm talking about the stuff that's going on in your heart. Guys, here's the thing, like you can have the best intentions in the world, right? You can have the best strategy in the world, the best systems in the world. But like we say so many times, guys, saying that the budget itself is the key to getting out of debt and saving and, getting retirement ready and, again, ending arguments, all this stuff is literally like saying that the key to weight loss and fitness is the diet, or the key to weight loss and fitness is the exercise plan. And guys, that's great, but the problem is it's not about just theory of how to exercise or have a diet, because most of us know how to do that. Most of us have books on our shelves about it. It's a matter of execution. It's why are we not doing it? Why is it so hard to even attempt to do it? Why is it so hard that the moment I start, I quit or I fail or I give up or something comes up and it knocks me off track and I can't seem to get back up and pick up the pieces? So guys, your beliefs around the budget, like again, what do you believe? What do you believe about needing to have a plan, right? Do you believe that God is just always going to provide no matter what you do? If that's the case, you probably ain't going to do a budget. If you just believe that, if you just believe that again, it doesn't really gel with my personality and I'm kind of more like spontaneous and it's not going to be fun. It's going to stifle me and I'm not going to be able to enjoy myself. You're never going to stick to it because who wants to sign up for a plan where you can't have fun, where you can't enjoy yourself, where you can't do the things that you want to do? So you're not going to want to stick to it. You're not going to want to do it. If you feel like it's going to cause a greater division between you and your spouse, if you're married, you're not going to do it. If you feel like, guys, it's what you believe. It's what you feel like. If you feel anxiety consistently around money, you're going to find that you end up sometimes medicating through shopping, or you end up buying stuff, or you end up just not making smart decisions with money because when you're in anxiety around the finances, you end up making bad decisions. When you're frustrated around the finances, you end up making bad decisions. When you are depressed around the finances, you end up making bad decisions. You have to have a way to be able to get to the root of why it's so hard. What am I believing? What are the emotions that are taking place? And how do I navigate those masterfully in order to master my money? Guys, it is a mental game. It is a heart game, if you want to just even say it that way. If you talk about the beliefs in your mind, you have to get those things under control. You have to have a way to be able to figure out what are those beliefs that I really have about money, about managing my money, about even my ability to manage my money. If you don't believe that you can do it because you've tried so many times and failed, you're not even going to attempt it and try. It's kind of like walking up to a car at the dealership and there's a key in the ignition and you're like, oh, let me take it for a ride. And the guy's like, hey, before you do, the engine's hanging up in the shop. You're not going to sit there for 5 minutes and try to turn the key if you don't think that thing's going to start, if you don't think it's going to work, right? You're going to be like, screw it, I'm going to walk somewhere else. It's no different. If you don't believe that you have what it takes, if you don't believe that you have the ability to actually stick to a plan, to actually have fun, to actually hit your goals, because there's all of these voices in your head, there's all these lies, there's all of these disempowering beliefs that you have around who you are and money, and even God's, what God says about money, and crap that you've had in your head that's not true about money, and all of these sorts of things. Guys, trust me when I tell you, it's going to be really stinking hard to be able to actually move forward with anything that I talk about going forward next. Okay. So the first thing is, again, guys, you have to have the right mindset about money. And there's so much to that. We don't have time to get into all that. I talk about this a lot. It's something we deal with our clients. Everyone is different. Everyone, guys, there could be hundreds there are hundreds. There's hundreds of different beliefs that you might have around money, about yourself, around all of these different things. You have to know where to look, where to pull them up, and how to reprogram them. Because guys, it's one thing to know, okay, these are the beliefs that I'm having. It's another thing to actually know how to fix it and what to fine tune and what to adjust in order to stop that and in order to get that out of your life. Okay. So that's the first thing. Okay. You've got to have the right mindset around money. Otherwise, the best plan in the world is not going to work. Oops, sorry about that. Here we go. Second thing, number 2, guys, is you have to have the right systems. Okay, you have to have the right systems. So first of all, guys, I'm going to talk about just like tech. On a practical standpoint, you need to have a simple way to manage this. Okay, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people where it's like they've got this complicated spreadsheet and like Excel thing and this Google, and it's like, hey, if that works for you, great. But there's such easier ways. And it's like, if you have to come home and like once a week, sit down for like 30 minutes and an hour and go through all your bank statements and pop this stuff in and do that and reconcile, like, honestly, guys, like, sign me. Like, I wouldn't do it. I don't want to do it. That sounds way too complicated. I like simple. I like easy. I like something that's so easy that my 8-year-old can do it. And the way that we teach it and the way that we do it, it is like that. Okay. So you have to have a simple system in place. Simple. Don't overcomplicate it. And there's so many different apps for that. There's a specific one that we like to use with our clients. But the truth is that, again, the tech is important. You just need to make sure that, one, you have the right mindset, so you actually stick with it and you go through it. But again, it's simple enough that you don't just want to quit, because guys, even with all the support and all the videos and trainings and everything that we do for people, there's like the first week or so, it can take a little bit just to get things set up and doing that. But once you figure it out, again, it's like building a car. Once that sucker is built, again, okay, here's where I go to do maintenance. I just do an oil change, whatever. It doesn't take that much work to keep it up. Even then, if something's broke, you just take it to the expert and say, hey, how do I fix it? That's the benefit, again, of having someone in your corner. like us or someone who's going to be an expert in this area of your life or any area of your life, that when things are not working, you have someone to actually support you and show you how to do it. But again, guys, that's the second thing, okay? You have to have the right systems. But again, the first part of the right systems is you need to have the right tech. You need to have a way to be able to track it where it's simple. We like to use an app. We don't like to do spreadsheets. I want to make it simple so that, boom, I can pop it in there. There's some that will even populate your transactions and sync with your bank for you. Whatever works for you is fine, but I'm just telling you guys, that's the first thing. You got to have that. You have to have the right tracking system as well. Okay, at the right tech, the second is the right tracking system. So what I mean is that you have to have a way to simply, on a daily and on a weekly basis, to track what's really going on. Okay, so obviously before the month even begins, you need to have a way with your tracking system and with your tech in order to be able to project what's going on the month ahead. Because a budget, guys, is not just looking back and seeing what happened. It is looking forward for the next month and saying, okay, based on X, Y, and Z factors, we'll talk about more of that in a second, but where do we want the money to go that's coming in? How do we, and again, it's like you need to have a way to know, how to know how much money you can expect in terms of income. We teach that, but you have to know how to do that. The other thing is, again, what to do with unexpected expenses. That's another thing that we talk about here. We'll talk about that in a second. But guys, really, again, you need to have the right system so that on a daily basis, it's easy to track so that you can pop it in. You need to have a system for doing that. But then also, guys, on a weekly basis, we recommend, again, you need to have some way to be able to just reconcile and just check in real quick. Guys, it doesn't have to take more than a few minutes, but just knowing that, okay, like here's what's going on with the money. Here's how we're doing. Are we hitting our goals? Yes, great, awesome, perfect. Because guys, really what's cool about that is it's not a boring and it's not exhausting when you know how to do it right sort of process. It's actually really fun. Okay, because again, your money, like we talk about, it represents your dreams, your goals, your desires. And when you're planning the right way, you're budgeting with the long-term like view in mind. Like you're thinking about, okay, where do I want to go? What excites me about this? What's the point, right? Because it's not budgeting for budget's sake. You're doing that because your budget within it has the goals that represent where you guys want to go, where you want to head long term, right? So that's the second thing, is like you want the right tracking system to be able to go ahead to be able to do that. That's the second thing, okay? The third part, and when I talk about the right systems, again, that are simple, the third thing is you need to have a system for expecting the unexpected. And if there's anything that I think throws people off and makes people want to quit before they even get started with budgeting or right after they do, it's that you're chugging along, you're doing great, and all of a sudden some random thing comes. The car breaks down, the radiator is broken, the water heater needs fixed, the roof is leaking, the dog is barking, the floor is creaking, and something, it's broken. Something happens, right, in your life, a medical emergency, whatever, and you don't know what to do. And you're like, well, I had this great plan, but like everyone has a plan until you get, it's like boxers, like everyone has a great plan until you get punched in the face. Like all of a sudden, boom, where did that come from? What do I do, right? So the first thing with that is that you need to have a plan in place for saving, right? Even within your budget, you need to have a plan in place for saving. And so in other words, if you do have something that you can't just fit within your budget when those things happen, you need to have a plan in place so that if you do have a big emergency, you can just pull from that fund. And you don't have to worry about where's this money going to come from? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to put another thing on a credit card, whatever that might be. You can just, boom, there it is. So you need to have a plan within your budget for saving for the future and prioritizing savings so that you are able to actually hit your goals. So that's the first thing with that. Second thing is, again, you need to have a category, what we recommend, for just miscellaneous. Because guys, listen, stuff is going to happen. Life is going to happen. There's going to be things that you don't expect. And it's really helpful just within your own budget to have something there for the unexpected things, right? The unexpected things that life that might throw at you. This way, a lot of times you don't even need to go into your emergency savings. You can just do that. Or again, guys, because again, you've done such a good job with planning, sometimes you can even just move some money from the other categories and then keep on going forward with it. But again, that's the second part. You want to make sure that you have a solid plan, again, for savings, again, within the for the unexpected, category for the miscellaneous. But the third thing is, again, infrequent expenses, okay? So the third thing that we talk with people a lot, that we help them through, and by the way, if you're this far in and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like, so still feels overwhelming, even though I'm trying to make it simple. Guys, it's because, truth be told, this is not like, I don't like to give out band-aids. I'm giving you guys as much information as I can without overwhelming you. But the reality is that this is exactly why we work with people for 8 weeks to master their money and to have a solid plan with where they want to go. It's not like just like watch a YouTube video and it's fixed, guys. Like it takes tailoring, it takes mentoring, it takes refining. It's like anything. Like if you're going to run a triathlon, you need the right systems in place. you need the right training, you need the right nutrition, you need the right, you need the right experts alongside of you. Like those, the people that win those big ones, those are the people that they have experts and they have all the tools and systems in their life. So again, like you're not going to figure all that out, like how to run a triathlon in like 45 minutes or 30 minutes, but you're not going to do the same with like how to master budgeting. But I'm going to give you a lot of value here so that again, you guys can know how to move forward. And again, if it's a fit, then again, go ahead, book a call, see if we can support you guys and figure out what exactly you need and what's best for you. Okay. But that being said, again, when I said infrequent expenses, what I'm talking about is having a system in place where you can know over the course of the year, what are those things that come up, like the anniversaries, the birthdays, the whatever that might be, and have a way to track that. So, and again, guys, if you do it right, this is really, really simple. If it sounds complicated, I promise it's not. It's simple when you have a system in place and we show people exactly where to go. But infrequent expenses where you can just go there and look, okay, for the month of August specifically, say that's coming up for you. Okay, great. So what tends to come up in August? And what's really cool is that before you know it, a lot of those unexpected things that really are, you can't expect them when you're thinking about it, right? Maybe it's an insurance premium. Maybe it's, an anniversary, maybe it's a birthday, maybe it's a whatever stuff that comes up, then you can get, it's right there. You can just go, okay, great. Oh, that's right. Every 3 months, or this thing comes out, or every 6 months, whatever. So that's the other second part of it. So guys, so again, first of all, you have the right mindset. Again, if you're just now tuning in, go back and watch it. Okay. Second, you need the right systems in place. But the third way, guys, to master budgeting, again, even if you think you suck, it feels overwhelming, you don't know what you're doing, and you feel stupid when you're doing it, it's okay. I did it first too. The third thing you need, guys, is the right support. Okay, the right support. And guys, this is critical. This is absolutely critical. Okay, guys. First of all, you need accountability. You need accountability, guys. It is, again, like how many people get super ripped, get in the best shape of their life, and again, they do it completely by themselves, watching a video at home. It is so freaking rare. It is so rare. The people that get the best results, and I'm not talking, you might be like, oh, I've gotten some pretty good results. That's good. That's cool. But do you want good or do you want exceptional? People that are exceptional in their personal fitness, people that are exceptional in any area of their life, you have to have the right support. You have to have the right support. Again, guys, think about any pro athlete. If you said, okay, I want to be good, get to the NBA one day, or I want to win the Olympics, how many of those people do it alone? How many of those people do it without, and even then, a peer group of people that challenge them and make them think, whoa, like that's inspiring. I want to shoot like you. I want to be able to run like you. I want to be able to, ooh, that's a great technique. Let me implement that into my life. You need the right peer group. You need the right mentoring. You need the right accountability to make sure that you're actually following through with your goals. Because guys, at first it can be hard. There can be resistance. There's a lot of you that's like, I don't want to do it. And you have to have someone to help you pop the hood and figure out, okay, where are the brakes in the Ferrari? What's really holding you back? I'll give you a good example. We're talking with one of our couples that's new, and they're such a sweet couple, and they're amazing. But one of the things they're like, it's been a couple weeks. They're like, we still haven't combined our accounts. We still haven't gone through this process and sat down to the numbers together. And it was like, okay, so what's the real resistance? And one of the things that we talked about is a lot of times the reason why you're not doing it is because you're afraid of, if you're married, like what your spouse is going to see. You haven't ever really talked about this stuff. Maybe this was a conversation that you've been avoiding, and you don't want to have your stuff exposed. You don't want to have shame. But guys, if you're going to move forward, you have to know how to have that conversation and have it in a way where it doesn't cause a freak out divorce, then wanting to walk away, scream session, everyone's going crazy. Like you have to know how to be able to work through that so that you can move forward, that you can forgive, that you can, all of these things, guys, like that's just one of so many different things that can come up for you. That again, it might trigger a lot of inadequacy. It might trigger a lot of fear. It might trigger a lot of failure. You have to know how to work through, going back to number one, your emotions and your beliefs around this whole process. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself completely stalled out. So again, guys, if you don't like the results that you have in your life, it's because the actions that you're taking are, at the end of the day, they're not good actions, right? Or maybe they're the right actions, but you find that again, it's the execution of it. You find you don't follow through with it. And guys, ultimately, when you trace it back up, the reason we do what we do is because of how we feel. And the reason we feel the way we feel is because of what we believe. And the reason we believe what we believe is because of how we've been programmed. How we were programmed by our past experiences, our parents, teachers, Sunday school, peers. I mean, all of these different experiences in life. You have to be able to get to the root of what's really going on, and the inside of the jar cannot read the outside of the label. You need people to go, oh, okay, it seems like it's a little bit difficult for you right now, or it seems like you're getting hung up on this. What's the deal? What's going on? How can we support you? And when you have someone like that in your life that can take a peek in and help you, again, take the brakes off of the Ferrari, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, it's starting to work. We're starting to make progress. We're paying off debt. We're saving. We're hitting our goals. We're having more fun. We're going on more vacations. What's the deal? Well, the deal is again, the reason why I like to say the parking brake is because this is a funny story real quick. But when I think I was 16 or something, I was in driver's ed, and I had the driver's ed class going, and I was like the last one, I think, to be able to do the test. And it was one of those tests where it's like you get one shot. Even though you spent a whole semester doing it, you get one shot. If you don't pass the test, you fail the whole thing. You can't get your license. So I'm doing the whole driver's ed thing, and all of a sudden it's like I'm trying to back up, and I see a light, or I hear a beep, and I'm like, well, that's weird. I try it again. I'm looking all around. I can't see what's going on. I hear the beep. I do it again, beep, and all of a sudden the instructor, the PE coach, whatever, says, stop, you failed. And I'm like, I failed? What do you mean? He's like, the parking brake was on. I had never seen a parking brake in that area. I've always seen them like on the left, but this one was in the middle, something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? All of this time, and I failed just because I didn't know where the parking brake was. And guys, literally, it's like that in your life. So many of you guys are at a place in your finances where you've been trying for years, some of you even decades, to pay off debt, to save like you want, to get caught up on the future. And for whatever reason, you just cannot seem to figure out what's wrong with me, what's stopping me, what's holding me back. Why is it so easy for everyone else? How come every time I try, it doesn't seem to work? What's the deal, guys? It's, again, you need the right support in your place. You need the right support. You need outside insight, people that can support you, that can help you figure out what's the resistance, what's holding you back, what's keeping you from getting the results that you want in your life. In other words, performance coaching. That is what we provide for our clients. Okay. And when I say performance coaching, I could also say results focused coaching, because we're not just talking about the how, we're talking about where you ultimately want to go and what needs to happen in order to get the how implemented and executed on so that you get the results you want in your life. Okay. You need someone like that in your life. The best athletes, the best business people, the best health, whatever that might be, you are going to have an expert in your corner who is holding your hand, that is making it simple for you. Because guys, listen, all of this stuff, first of all, it's going to take you hundreds of hours to try to research and put something together that we can show you in a matter of like 30 minutes. Okay. And even then, it's still not going to be as good, because we have the benefit of having worked with hundreds of people and seen the budgets and seen the numbers, and we know exactly what to look for and what to fix and what to tweak and what to add and all of these different things to give you a solid cash flow plan. And even then though, guys, no YouTube video, no book, no nothing is going to actually help you execute on it. It's just not enough. You need somebody who's going to help hold you accountable, who's going to get all the internal resistance out of the way so that you actually follow through and that you get the result, and that they're checking in with you every step of the way to make sure that it's working. And then when you have your questions, you're getting your questions answered, you're finding that it's working for you, and it just makes the process so much simpler and so much more smooth. And guys, that's literally just the management of the current money coming in. Okay. Then there's a whole, the fun part for me really is like, this whole process, what I'm talking about right now, after like a couple weeks, like our clients had this figured out. Like they're good. Like they've managed it all. They've saved as much as they can save. Like we've plugged all the leaks. Like they're good. It's awesome. Then guys, where it really gets fun is noticing, okay, like now that the money is mastered, everything additional that you make, it just gets to go toward your dream. So maybe your dream is, I want to be debt free in 6 months. Like a lot of our clients have been able to do, paid off $10, $30, $50,000 in 6 months. Maybe that's your goal. Maybe it's, I want to be able to go on this dream vacation. Maybe it's, I want to be able to start this nonprofit. Maybe it's, I want to be able to pay for a house for my kids. Maybe it's that I want to be a multimillionaire when I retire in 5 or 10 years. Whatever that goal might be, all of that extra money now that was going to the bank of who knows where, or the account of who knows, like you didn't know where it was going. Right now you have a plan for it. And now all of that additional money, please hear me, when you have everything under control in your current income, and now every dollar that you make above that can now go specifically exactly where you want it to go. So let's just say you're making, $6,000 a month. And now again, all of that is mastered. Again, you're paying off debt, you're saving like you want, but then we show you how to actually have fun and what opportunities you have to be able to create additional income in your life and get it to $8,000 or $10,000. Let's just say it's $10,000 for fun. So many of our people are able to do that. And then you get now $4,000 extra a month. That's just play money. That's just, okay, going toward retirement money. That's going toward investments money. That's going toward real estate money. That's going toward, helping my kids money. That's going toward doing this thing for my parent who's elderly money. That's like, guys, whatever you want to do with it, it's fair game now, because now you have a plan for it. and you've mastered the current income, and now everything you make above that, it's gravy. And also, guys, here's what's really cool. This is why making more money gets so much easier, because when you don't know where your money's going, it creates so much anxiety. It creates so much like internal stress and turmoil, because again, you feel a sense of you have no control. It would literally be like have you guys ever walked into an office like where like there's papers everywhere? It'd be like if you had a business and you walked into your office and someone came in one day and all the invoices were all over the place, the bills were everywhere, the receipts were everywhere, literally top to bottom, the whole, if you had no structure, no system, no organ, you would be pulling your hair out. And that's why so many of you guys are triggered so much to anxiety and overwhelm. It's because you don't have a system in place. But then once you do, like again, I was talking to a couple last night, is that they literally were like, went from overspending by $1,500 a month, which they didn't know that they were doing. Their credit cards, I think, kept going up. And now all of a sudden they're like, we didn't have to make a single dollar more. And now we're saving $1,500 a month, just because now we're not in the red $1,500 a month, because we showed them where the money was going. They're like, oh my gosh, we had no idea that this is what was going on. But we showed them how to fix it. And now we're having fun looking at, okay, now because you've got all of this money mastered, you're not in that anxiety, you're not in that fight or flight. And guys, when you're not in that fight or flight mode, the anxiety mode, this is how God designed your brains to work. I just love it. The creative processes of your brain start working again. They start firing again. And all of a sudden you get inspired, because now because listen guys, when you don't know where the money's going, it's not inspiring. It's not fun. You feel like what's the point of making more money? It's just going to go to who knows where. I'm just going to keep staying in debt. But now that you're like, oh my gosh, for every dollar I make, I see it's going toward this debt, and I see it's going toward this investment, and I see it's going toward this. You get inspired. You want to make more money. And then you find yourselves executing on it. I would say 99% of the time with our clients, halfway through when we're working with them, they start taking initiatives on making more money and having fun and getting promotions and starting businesses and doing all these different things. We don't even have to tell them what to do or how to do it, which again, some people get freaked out and they're like, what are you going to make me sell multi-level marketing? Are you going to make me do this thing? It's like, no, what's so fun is that yes, if you want ideas of what's worked best for our clients, we have people that were stay-at-home moms, doctors, entrepreneurs, whatever, any industry you can think of. And we've been able to direct them and show them and help them find the right way for them. But what's so cool is that 99% of the time, we don't even have to give suggestions. People just take action on it, because now when that anxiety is out of the way, all those limiting beliefs and emotions are out of the way, if you've got a solid plan for your money, you are inspired, you are excited to now go out there and make money and have more fun doing it. And that's really, guys, where it gets so much fun. As you can tell, I'm passionate about it. I love it. And I just think that, guys, again, I personally believe the more money you make, the more people you can help. Okay. And when you have a budget in place, a solid cash flow system in place, now the money that you make, it's actually going to go to where you want it to go, instead of wondering where the heck it went. And now you can actually start building wealth and serving on a greater capacity. And so if you're watching this, I just want you guys to have a lot of money. I want you to make a lot of money so that you can help more people, so that you can go out there and you can change the world. And that's why we're here. And if you're watching this and you're a Christian, you're somebody who says, okay, I want to make a bigger difference, but you have to ask, am my actions lining up with that statement? I want to advance the kingdom of God. Great. What's the primary way that most people are needing help to advance the kingdom of God? They need prayers, yes, but they're asking specifically for financial support, because Bibles, books, meals, water, everything that you can think of, support, it requires money, right? We're in a 3D world. And so you got to ask, like, okay, if I really say that I love God, I really say that I love the kingdom, if I really believe that it's more blessed to give than to receive, then what am I doing with my finances in order to have more to be able to give? And if you don't have a solid plan, if you don't have a solid cash flow plan in place for the money coming in and how to be able to grow it, then guys, you got to really question yourself, check yourself, and just figure out, what can I do to start getting there and start getting to be able to be more generous, make a bigger difference, have more freedom in my life. So if you're still wondering, like, okay, how do I do that? What do I do? JeremyKrulikowski.com/apply. Book a free call to speak with us, and let's see how we can help. Guys, I am just so passionate. I want you to get this stress out of your life. I want you to get this anxiety, this depression, this overwhelm around finances out of your life. And I want you to have such an amazing structure in place. I want you to have the right systems. I want you to have the right mindset. I want you to have the right support so that you can win, big with money, and that you guys can do the things on your hearts and accomplish your dreams and be the most charitable, free, excited, happy version of you to go out there and help us change the world together. So again, if you need help, JeremyKrulikowski.com/apply. It's a long last name. It's Polish. If you're really committed, you'll pause this and figure out how to be able to go and look it up. And we're just so excited to support you. And if it's a fit, we'll let you know. But either way, guys, the point of the call is we're going to sit down and figure out, okay, exactly what's really going on. What's holding you back? Why is this so complicated? Why is this so overwhelming? Why are you not getting traction here with the money? And what's the right plan for you? And we might not be the best fit. I don't know. But if we are, I will tell you, and I will show you how to customize something, and we'll talk about how to personalize it in a way so that by the time we're done with the call, you know exactly what you need to wipe out your debt, to save the money that you want to save, and to get where you want to be financially so that you can give more, that you can just have more fun. Guys, it's okay to have fun. And trust me, when you have a plan for your money and you're winning financially and there's money in the bank and you've got savings and life is just more fun and you can help more people. And like Jesus said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Okay, so like I want blessing, I want happiness, I want joy. Well, guys, then make more money, manage it better so that you can give more and that you can have a really fun time doing it. So guys, so great to hang out with you guys today. Again, if you guys need help, go to jeremykrulikowski.com/apply. We'll see you on the next show. And just again, guys, don't give up. Don't lose hope. If you've tried this time and time again and it's not working, again, just because you tried like the diet or you tried the other thing before, ask yourself, is it because I'm stupid? Is it because I'm inherently dumb? Everyone else has got something edge on me. It's because I didn't have the right parents or education. No, it's because you just really never had the right mindset, the right support, and the right systems in place to be able to do so. And we just talked about how to do that. And if you need help, that's exactly what we help our clients do. So talk to you guys soon. See you on the next show and have an amazing rest of the day. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.